See how it all pans out. Both teams have a stand-in. No excuses. 5-man smoke out from either side as well here. Jonathan, they'll run right towards each other. I'm a little bit afraid that for Heroic, you know, if Analog falls off here on the Husker, the game might just feel over. Like, I don't think this Sven does necessarily very well against the TB. You know, high base armor hero against this Sven's never going to feel amazing for this Sven. But we'll see.
Yeah, very aggressive posturing out already. Crit does fully commit for the Illuminate, so not going for the early blinding light that we sometimes see for the repositional plays. They do manage to at least set up for these runes, and it doesn't look like we're going to get too much excitement for them unless maybe Whisper overextends, but it is a 1v1 contest. I am still very curious about what KJ will do with Eternal Empowerment support Magnus, as that is just... I just haven't seen it on support. And mainly core, when you're farming, when you're building up, it's pretty nice. I guess it helps you with some free harassment in lane without expending mana on yourself. And again, it helps you farm the jungle a little bit more. Maybe clear out these Terrorblade illusions just a bit. See some poke here.
Nice little steal from KJ. Meanwhile, Skitter, though, that's a lot of damage being dealt to him. He might actually just be dead. And he is. Skitter will be going down already. Whisper to secure first blood on the Beastmaster. And boy, well, I mean, that's a perfect start for the side of Heroic.
I'm a little bit surprised they just let Skitter stay alone. Like, again, they were kind of... Maybe they didn't see each other in vision, but they were in that general vicinity after failing on that smoke and just setting up the vision on mid. Giving that first blood out to Whisper does set a really good tone for this lane. You know, just having that little bit of EXP to ride into level 2. Having a little bit more gold to get some durability in is going to be massive. And that should make things maybe a little bit tougher here for Skitter initially until maybe level 3 mid lane. You are ending up, again, for that Husker lane for Analog up against Quinn Storm Spirit. And this lane is not too bad for Quinn. It is going to get annoying as you get traded with the Burning Spears. Like, this is just going to slowly burn you. You do have some poke back for Quinn with the Overload, but eventually once Berserker's Blood is up, the magic res can give Analog a little bit more durability than you'd really want to contend with here on Quinn. At the very least, Water Rune control is going to be much more important for Quinn, considering that he needs to balance his mana usage out as well. And the natural reach on Analog shouldn't be too bad.
Is he going to die to the blood grenade? Oh, no, he's alright. The Tango regen. Oh, but he's still going to get clipped. He is still going to get clipped by the Illuminate. How unfortunate. Right on the edge of it. Crit will secure. Meanwhile, mid lane, Analog in trouble. Quinn trying to secure. Doesn't quite have enough, but no, he does. I didn't think that final right click was going to be there, but oh boy, Quinn finding a kill against a Husker solo at level 3 is... Well, that's pretty problematic. If you're Analog, John, that's not the start you're looking for.
No, and again, it's not the same as an Ember lane, right? And Ember lane, you have range advantage, you can poke, you can keep applying those Burning Spears. Trying to trade with a Storm is more risky, more dangerous. He's going to throw out a static slide remnant forward. He's going to get some overload onto you. And by the time you trade maybe 2 spears, you're losing a quarter of your HP every single time. It's really uncomfy for you to turn back with your own burning spears if you're not careful. And if you don't manage to contest these...
Well, there's Skitty getting a bit of revenge here, Jonathan, on the TB. All lanes right now looking to be already in the favor of Falcons. John. 1 kill each lane.
Yeah, and that doesn't set a good tone for Heroic. Again, their lineup does require them to pretty much win lanes. You mentioned Analog having to win out his lane. That's already going a little bit slower. Whisper finding that first blood was nice up top. But then you're playing into Terrorblade with Reflection, along with the Jakiro, with the Dual Breath, and the Liquid Fire. So a lot of slows, a lot of damage that can just be easily poked out. When Skitter doesn't have meta, it is a little bit easier, to be fair. There's more of a window for Whisper to just kind of play his lane, get that farm up. No levels in the Axis. Did go for the Inner Beast and did go for a Wild Hunt facet anyhow. So just kind of focusing on the little creep army to build up on. But with this CS disparity across each lane, it doesn't paint a pretty picture. Like you were mentioning down bot where Human was getting caught out. This kind of comes down to just having Magnus support. What are you supposed to do here for KJ? Like, look for a Stormhammer Skewer back play on the Darkseer, risk walking into double Iron Shell at this point. It's not comfy for the side of Heroic to really look for action, especially in that bot lane. At the very least, there is some room here for KJ to secure a water rune, or at least snag that away from Quinn. So removing one top-up option gives Analog a little bit more room to breathe, but that mid lane's just getting wrecked. 19-6 for Quinn, 12-2 for a Husker. And these stalled timings, man, it's not going to feel great. Like, you've got a support mag who's obviously not going to have a fast blink. You've got bot lane kind of surrendered. Melee matchup into Darkseer's not feeling great for Yuma. Your top lane, at least, is dancing around with whenever Metamorphosis is down. You have some gameplay. But there's no easy fixes. Like, even into, say, the 6-minute mark, into approaching the 10-minute mark, it just doesn't feel like you'll get too much.
Well, Analog just threw a cheeky blood grenade out on Quinn. He does cancel the bottle that Quinn had just used, so it is forcing Quinn to actually run back to the fountain, but I think he was looking to maybe set up for KJ, who had rotated on the Magnus. Currently chasing crit now, but doesn't really seem to have much of a chance at getting a nice skewer off. It looks like everyone from the side of Falcons is going to be just fine, but this is going to allow Analog in that mid lane to slowly catch up on that Husk. It's finally kind of left alone for a little bit. And in fact, Quinn just left the lane altogether. He just says, screw it, I don't want to be in that lane anymore. And the Husker is level 5, so it does get relatively painful at this point. Quinn, I suppose you'd rather just secure your level 6 in the jungle and just ensure that you can't die.
Yeah. Nice and safe. He is scanned out with a little bit of a cheeky movement from Matthew. Might not be as smooth going here.
He's still okay. Matthew's just being a bit of a bit pest. One creep away from the storm. I suppose he did something with that rotation. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a chase is on. Yuma being chased by the illusion plus Amar. Crit's still waiting as well, but Yuma's going to be okay. For now, ATF still pinging out there, wants to go for Yuma. Blood grenade, it does not actually connect. Yuma still in danger, but has the TP rotations in, coming in a nice bushwhack. Matthew locking him down. Amar's in trouble now as KJ's shown up. He'll go down to boot. Very nice rotations here from Heroic to ensure that Yuma survives, and they'll even find 2 kills for their trouble.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for Falcons. The vacuum doesn't quite connect with the ice pad out from snaking. Just a little bit topsy-turvy in the spell usage, and a little bit of overcommittal out from Amar, not respecting the poke damage they have back here on Heroic. That Acorn Shot can do quite a fair bit when you're under a tower with not much else to bounce it off of. And that does even it out just a little bit for Heroic. We were talking about how rough these lanes are. At the least, Yuma has managed to find some decent farm for himself here. He's up there in terms of CS. He's number 1 in net worth by a little margin, not the biggest in the world. But that does mean that your Sven is off to a good launching point, right? Like, the Power Treads are coming in. You're going to go Echo Saber in next. You've got the Mask of Madness also lined up. There is some damage that is flowing out there. And because of all of that movement down bot, you're freeing up the mid lane to recover a bit. You've got some room for Whisper to relax in a 1v1 lane up against a Terrorblade. No major threat of dying. And allows him some space to just build up the Dominator to, again, play with that Wild Hunt facet. A little bit more attack speed as the army builds up. It does even the game out. I still have my concerns about what the timing will be for Heroic, right? Like, you're just not going to see a fast blink on KJ. He is queuing it up. He's just skipping all boot upgrades. He's just going to be able to find some steady farm with Eternal Empowerment. Sure, he's going to eat some camp space for himself, but that one just feels pivotal. The room for Analog to farm the armlet's big as they try to rotate top here.
On top, they're going in onto the Beastmaster. Whisper is in a lot of danger. Analog's going to TP in to try and help out and at least find a trade. Bottom lane, Amar still causing a lot of problems. They do take down Snaking top. Not a very good trade for Heroic, but they'll be forced to take what they get. That's pretty much it. To make matters worse, Quinn rotates back mid and is going to find an arcane rune for himself. So now your Storm's got an arcane bottled up, which is even worse news for Heroic, because chances are Quinn's going to be trying to find an angle very soon for another fight. And naturally, Crit's just around him, handing Chakra Magic over whenever he can. So it's just unlimited mana for Quinn. Here we go.
Amar?
ATF being chased down. KJ misses the skewer. Zip in from Quinn. Analog already losing most of his HP. Needs to try and fight, but he can't do it. It's too much. On for more. KJ will go down. Quinn taking out another. Matthew to drop, and Yuma. Yuma's not looking safe. That'll be a triple kill for Quinn. I mean, it wasn't even close, John. The fight wasn't even close. I mean, my goodness. That was too much.
That it is. It's this Coddle recall plus Storm is pretty disgusting. Like, just having Chalk run this hero, having all this spell spam, plus the Arcane running in that fight, just double stat Remnants, Vortexes that don't take too long to come back up, and then this rotation into top, Whisper.
Oh no. This is really, really devastating here for Heroic. And yeah, the sad thing is, John, as well, like, for Heroic's sake, is Crit and Quinn are good friends as well. So them just being able to walk around the map recalling Quinn over and over again, like, they're probably just having the time of their lives right now. This will just happen the whole game. Crit will just run around the map, find somebody alone, and then just bring Quinn in.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you need to do. You've got tempo on your side. You don't need to wait for too much farm, considering how strong the start is for Quinn. Already has a Kaya flying out. And in comparison, the armlet of Analog isn't done yet. You have some room for Yuma. He's got the Mask of Madness at the least. It's something. It's not quite enough to really feel secure by any means. And the triangle control has completely disappeared here for Heroic. So you don't have that recovery stacks to kind of fall back to. 4-9. You at least have the Dominator up on Whisper. He's got the Centaur with a stun ready to go. The blink for KG is still a ways off. And a steady siege from Skitter joining in on mid with Metamorphosis fading away. I mean, what do you do? Like, you don't have defense. You could maybe rely on Bushwhack, but where's the follow-through? Your Husker's not ready. Your Beastmaster is ready, but who's he going to play with? A Hoodwink at level 5? Like, it's just not enough on Heroic right now. You're going to have to seed some map space out. Just try to take it slow. Maybe sacrifice some supports along the way. Just secure farm for your cores somehow. And stem the bleeding a bit. Because the more you feed Quinn, the more you feed Falcons in general, the worse it gets. Like, Quinn has 9 galvanized stacks in at 11 minutes in. That's insane.
That's a lot. That is a lot. It's got the Soul Ring up, got the Kaya up, got the bottle. Like, there's just... And you've got a Coddle behind you. That's the best part, John. He doesn't even need the galvanized stacks. Doesn't need it. And he drops an XD as well. Oh my goodness, Crit. Come on now. I can't become any bigger of a fan, Crit. You got to take it easy, man. You know how I feel when somebody drops an XD, John. I'm an old man. It brings me back to my heyday. KJ?
Oh.
Gets caught out. Quinn is not having it today, Jonathan. Quinn is not having it. You think Quinn's trying to get a job at Falcons at this point, John? My goodness.
Yeah, you know, it's. Remember when Saberlight used to be a stand-in for Liquid back in that one time? You know, it's the same thing for Quinn. Like, yeah, you stand in. He's still playing the same old Quinn, but he's a little bit more relaxed. He's going a little bit wackier. You know, he's going all in on these chases. Oh,
this will be a nice kill. That'll be a very nice kill. Whisper able to secure the life.
Yuma?
Well, it was a nice kill, John. Yuma's gone down now. I mean, I suppose the TV going down is still very worthwhile of a trade for Heroic. The issue is, like, Falcons don't really need this TV at the moment. They're just doing it with Quinn. In fact, here comes Quinn again. Whisper is not going to get him. Whisper's in big trouble. No. Whisper is down. Crit to secure that one.
Yeah. 12 galvanized stacks for good old Quinn. Has all the mana regen he'd want in the world. Sanj only 300 gold away.
He's been involved in 10 kills at 12 minutes here, John.
Yeah.
7-0-3 as the Storm. 12 minutes in.
Yeah. It's a free Storm game. It comes back to these support picks.
I thought he was spotted there for a second. Never mind, John. He wasn't spotted. Thing is, Heroic are just not safe. Because anyone that shows on the map, like, again, you'll either see Crit running directly towards them, or you're going to see Quinn running directly towards them. Bottom lane, Yuma, I don't know if he should show right now on that creep. This could be a little bit scary. In fact, never mind. Quinn has been recalled. Oh, here we go. He's looking. KJ. Meanwhile, Analog chasing ATF. ATF going to be okay. KJ in trouble. is not making it out. I don't think. That's number 8, John.
Yeah. Nice and simple for Quinn. Just running around, hit and run. It's like he's playing a wild version of GTA 6 right now, harassing some people.
You know what's nuts, John? Is the fact that here we go again. Matthew's Quinn's been recalled. Matthew's in trouble. You know what really upsets me about this Coddle, John? Is that he can alt right click the recall and TP to somebody else. So it's just like you can't escape him. Like this is just the most global of drafts. If Quinn does get caught out, do they have the damage? Skew or back, they don't have the damage, John. Yuva's in trouble now. He's TP'd in to try and help out, but he's right in the fire of Snake King. He'll go down. There goes Analog. Boys, I think it might be time to call it. It might just be time. This game is a bit too much.
Yeah, no, it certainly is. Look, I would say they could hold out a little bit more here on Heroic, right? Like, try to get this blink on KJ. Yeah, give it a shot, you know? Get the blink out in your Magnus first, see if you can get some decent skewer back plays instead. And try to connect that with your Sven a little bit better. Perhaps. I mean, there is room to punt. If you kill Quinn, that's breaking open the golden pinata, Mike. That's a lot of candy to fall on the ground.
That's true. That is a lot of candy. Because Quinn's a very sweet man, Jonathan. You see what I did there?
Yeah. You asked me, well, you know what's nuts? Yeah, Hoodwink would go nuts.
Oh, shut up, John. That's horrible. That's horrible.
It is nuts.
How many kids you got, John? My goodness.
0, and it's staying that way indefinitely, Michael Phoenix.
Tormented to be taken. And Heroic were slowly moving up towards the Tormentor, but I'm sure they realize that it is probably already just being taken here by the side of Falcons. And well, here we go again. Quinn doesn't even use the twin gates. Crit will just bring him along with a recall.
Yeah. Why waste time? Why waste the mana?
They look like they're having a bit too much fun, these two.
They are, but I appreciate it. This is the kind of fun I can get behind. You know, it's strong, it's silly. Theoretically, it is punishable if you had backline jump, which you really don't in Heroic. KJ.
He's dead, John. He is dead. Quinn is 10-0-5 now. At 15 or 16 minutes, just about.
13k lead.
I appreciate Heroic and not giving up at all, John. I mean, you are right. It is Dota, right? Like, there's definitely an opportunity. If you can find a nice RP skewer back play on Quinn, it is going to be a crap ton of gold and XP. But that's a big if right now. That is a very big if.
Like, everything has to go right in that team fight. It has to be a big RP, a big Stormhammer afterwards. You prevent Skitter from getting a Sunder play off. You have to ensure that the Coddle healing isn't coming through with a holy lock it up and crit that he's had for a while. It's a lot of conditions. As Roshan's being taken as well by the side of Falcons now. No contest from the side of Heroic. They're not in that position to even try to consider it. And a nice secondary life coming out here. Safety net for Quinn. So you have to kill the Storm twice over, which again, with your hold here on Heroic, isn't easy to get done. 20 galvanized stacks, and Quinn does mean he has enough galvanized steel to expand his 1x1 meter home. So good on him. Living the millennial dream of maximizing space, Mike. In this housing market. Yeah. He's going to have a mansion.
Housing? Well, at this point, I mean, in Sydney, it's basically a car park market now, John. You know, there's no houses left. Got an extra $1 million, you might be able to get a car park for yourself, maybe. If you're lucky.
Lovely.
I wish I was joking, by the way, John. A couple of years ago, I think a car park sold for like $300,000 because I had an ocean view. I can't make this up.
An ocean view?
Yeah. It
had a car.
That's what the listing said. It had an ocean view. It's like, well, I'm glad my car's going to enjoy it then. My goodness. What do I care if the car's got an ocean view? Zip bottom lane? Hey, welcome to Sydney, John.
Wrong down under.
Can't wait
wrong down under, Mikey.
A lot of things.
Yeah,
are
no,
wrong
I don't think I could even afford the visa at this rate, Mikey.
No,
I don't think I can.
Top lane, is that where they're going? Whisper? Yeah, I think Whisper could be in a spot of bother if they do spot him. He'll TP away though. This is kind of the game now as well for Heroic. Like, as soon as you're spotted on the map, you need to TP out. And pray that they're not right behind you. Like, they're not just right there. Snaking's going to die at the very least, so Yuma does find a freebie. But this is the game for Heroic. If you see that you might have been spotted, you've just got to TP.
Pretty much. It's like a game of reverse whack-a-mole. Heroic are the moles. They need to run away from the hammer that Falcon's bringing down. And just kind of taunt them, right? Like, like getting that kill and Snaking's pretty damn big. He's worth 500 gold.
Is he just... He's not dead. He's alright. Had he been a second later, he probably would have been dead though, but he's okay.
Yeah, and that's what you kind of need to do, like you were saying, Mike. Distract, work the map, find some farm. Yuma, though? Okay. Oh, he got rooted! The Prowler!
Oh,
the Prowler
no.
killed him! Oh, dude, that's the Prowler! You wanted this, Mike. There you go. Because of you, Yuma dies. Was it worth it, Mike?
Yes, it was,
Was
John.
it worth it?
It was fantastic. I don't even get to see it. Do we have a replay? I don't even spot that one. Oh, no.
Skidder just ran up. He started TPing away, and then whoops, you're rooted.
Here we are. I'll get to...
Ah. Oh. You know what? You know what that... You know what that Prowler is? It's a real estate agent asking you to take a look at his, hey, I got this good parking lot right by the river. Want to take a look, Sven? He dies because of that, Mike. He dies of shock from the price. The sticker price. That's all it is.
That's brilliant. I love those Prowler creeps, John. I really do. I love it. I never have to deal with them, John. I play support. You know I don't get to hit creeps, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, nah.
I don't
But the
care.
moment you do and you head in there, and you know, you've got some room to clear some camps yourself, and you're hating yourself. Oh God!
I can
try for a smoke out here.
I can feel the aura of my pos one just getting stronger and stronger every time I enter my triangle, John. I can feel it. The presence. He's watching me every time I enter our own triangle, just making sure I'm not touching the creeps. Quinn.
Oh,
he's found analog. Should have gone digital. Analog in trouble. A horrible joke, John. Analog is... Why did I say that? Quinn, he's looking for more. Why did I say that? What's wrong with you?
No.
This is your doing.
How is it my fault?
KJ,
How's it my fault, Mike?
it's your fault. Yuma's in trouble. Look at it. This
Bye,
is your
Yuma.
fault, John. This is your fault. Yuma's been caught. He's currently tickling Quinn, hoping that Quinn will just leave him alone, and Yuma sadly going to have to die, as Quinn apparently is not done looking for KJ now. Where is he? Where's Quinn gone? He's
KJ
looking
has
for
a blink?
KJ. KJ,
Oh,
get out
he
of it. It's not time. He did blink, John. It ran
Oh
right into
no, crit!
Quinn.
Come on, block him!
Oh, and I was about to say Quinn was out of mana, John, but apparently that's not a problem.
He doesn't. No. Unlimited mana works, baby. That's all you got. You got that beautiful Poddle combo. Man, I miss... This is what I kind of enjoy this, Mike. You know, it goes back to like the good old Pugna with Storm. Lion with Storm was good for a while, and then they nerfed the transfer rate, so it's like whatever. When you know the Pugna combinations, and now just Coddle, because Coddle gets double chakra with recall. Great. Cool. Outstanding.
How great's that? Why not just give Crit
As great-
why don't we just give Coddle the ability to just TP all over the map like Nature's Prophet or something, dude? Why are we making it hard
Wha-
for the poor guy?
Actually, no. Why is this skill on Coddle? Thematically, would it not make sense for Keen Conveyance to work on allies and give them some sort of lower cooldown?
You'd think so,
Would this
John.
not be a Tinker spell?
You'd think so. Well, don't give
That's
him any
disgusting.
ideas. Quinn and Crit still
I'm
hunting around.
no, actually,
Oh, hold on, bottom
At-
lane. They've started a fight here,
oh.
Jonathan. None of the darks here. ATF's actually in pretty big trouble. He should go down, and he does. But look
that
at the
wall,
damage of that macro fire. They're alright. They got ATF. That's a good kill.
that is a lot of gold. 500 plus 900. It's that's what you need to do. Again, it's taking quite a few minutes between these kills, between these pickoffs. But you find that punishment when Falcons maybe plays a little bit sloppy. You get a shot in the arm. It's you need 18 more of that. 18 more to even out the net worth. But if you can get that done, you know, you've got a solid shot here on Heroic. Never say never. Again, you've got some opportunities, although Quinn...
Yeah, I mean, Matthew's in a spot of bother, but he does have Whisper there, and Quinn's not wanting to give his life away. Naturally, he knows how much he's worth right now. He's 12-6. He does not want to die and just throw the game back the way of Heroic. Now, they are tipping more bodies in. It seems like they might want to go, but they don't. They'll just take it easy, take over that Radiant Triangle, play safe. Here's a 4-man smoke now from Falcons. This is into a BKB, though, of Analog. So if Analog has ever had a chance to force a good fight, this could be it. Yuma. Is he going to avoid Quinn? He will run the right way. Quinn's still going to have a look around that southern part of the map, and Yuma does not have TP. Oh, and Quinn's going to find him. Oh, no, he ran underneath an observer ward. That's a very sneaky ward there in the corner too, John. And with that, it's just... That's Yuma dying again. Not great news at all for Heroic.
No. But they still have this high round hold. Respawns are fairly short, considering that's a level 15 Sven, so it's not the worst thing in the world right now. And again, you've got the blink on KJ, although he is forced to just skewer back. The wall drop early to zone out, providing this angle here on Falcons to just siege in. And siege in they will. Again, blink skewer back plays there, but you need the Sven for damage, and it's still a little bit longer until he's back up. The Falcons won't overcommit, although...
This is so ridiculous, dude. Whisper. Why does he get 2 charges of recall? That's he's literally TPing to somebody while recalling Quinn. Like, it's... Why does he do that? So he's IO now as well?
Yeah. He is. And recall is affected by the chakra that he gets when he casts it. So it's just, I was going to make this comparison. You think about Tinker. He has a blind. You have Blinding Light. He has March of the Machines. You have Illuminate. But you get the bonus in chakra. So all this time, Pottle is the speary Tinker.
Oh my goodness.
Think about it.
You figured it out, John. You're not wrong. And he heals too with Illuminate, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like March. Exactly, right? It's like March
my
Machines.
Goodness. You're right. Even the build-up's the same. He just builds Holy Locker and Glimmercake. There you go. It's done. Oh, great. So now we've got 2 Tinkers in the game. How great's that?
Can you imagine a Cottle Tinker game? That sounds atrocious.
Don't say that, John. Come on now.
At some point we will get it, Mike. At some point. And it will look so dumb.
Today.
Like,
it's gonna happen.
It'll look either really good, or it's gonna look like the worst thing anyone's ever cooked up.
Oh my.
That's all this.
Well, we're 26 minutes into game 1, Jonathan. 24k net worth advantage still standing pretty strong for Falcons. Heroic, not out of the game yet. It's looking bad, but they're not out of it yet.
There's so much pressure on, like... So much pressure on KJ to try to catch up in RP. Falcons with the smoke, I mean, they've got some good forward vision to kind of guide him in. They've been very aggressive. They've been the ones setting the tempo. A counter smoke from Heroic could be big. Again, it's down to whether or not KJ and Yuma can get that connection for the RP follow-up. That's going to be the big game changer for Heroic. If they can't land that combo, then there is no hope. It has to be off the back of that. At least 2 heroes in an RP with a really Godstrength usage out from Yuma. You've got to find that angle somehow.
They're just not able to, like, really leave the base at all here, Heroic. Like, you see them chipping away at a couple camps that are very close by the base, but that's about it. They understand, like, the moment you're... Oh, that's not good.
Ooh.
We've had 6 players instantly DC. What is this, John? Did you see something?
No. It's just, this is the good old... You know, North America, Southeast Asia, we're all the same. We get these disconnects as well. There you go. Quick reconnect. That's faster than Southeast Asia, at the very least.
American internet, dude.
There you go.
The best internet. Yeah. Some would say the greatest internet.
Absolutely is. Yeah, no denying.
I'm not going to do the imitation, John. I don't have a good imitation of that guy. You know the one I'm talking about. You don't, do you? Falcons?
I think I do, as they are going into the Roche here on Falcons.
I'm not going to say the name because God knows it's going to get spicy. Roshan?
Yeah, Safety net for Skitter this time around. 8 to 23. Again, Falcon showing a lot of respect for that high ground hold. And they do understand there is a way back here with, again, just respecting RP, respecting the damage from Yuma if he is allowed to actually just stand there and hit. As he does have a little bit of a booster now in the Crystallis. Not the most damage, but certainly will help the cause. But it's 8 to 23. It's still all about looking for an opening from Falcons. Right? Like, Heroic can't really bust this game open themselves. They're trying to play high ground. They're trying to wait for Falcons to get impatient and drag someone in. It's just way easier said than done. Falcons are not making a mistake. They're hanging back. They're farming. They're waiting for Heroic to get jumpy. Otherwise, you're just getting choked out. 25k lead for Falcons. You've got the Scotty coming out for Skitter really soon, 100 gold away. You've got Amar, who's managed to build fully into Aura. Guardian Greaves up, has a Halberd to deal with that Sven. Or the Magnus. Like, all your tools are coming together. You're going to have potentially the Ags coming out for crit, with just a point booster being queued up. The Will-O-Wisp is going to be something to be concerned about as well.
Who can they catch? I mean, KJ's got to get a nice skill back play, and he's going to find ATF. It's a good start. Lotus Salt, they're going to make things very hard as KJ gets a very nice RP off. Quinn, he zips out of there. They've got ATF. Quinn's going to jump back in now. He's still got the... well, he doesn't actually have the Aegis. Skitter's got it up. Whisper will eventually die. A 1-for-1 on both offlaners. Analog. Analog? I mean, he was trapped in the low ground. Can they get Quinn, perhaps? No, they certainly cannot. KJ's going to die. Quinn's just going absolutely bananas here, as they will wipe them out on the high ground. Buyback committed by Analog, but it's only him and Matthew, and they've finally seen enough. They'll call GG. I'd like to say it was a close game, Jonathan, but it was far from. Falcons, too damn good. John, I mean, this 14-0-10 on this storm. Well, why is Quinn...
So, for Heroic, big thing we have to see from them in this game, fixed lanes. Like, the draft is a lot better, the lanes are a lot stronger. Now they just need to execute in the laning phase to actually get the results they want in the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Let's see if they can make it happen, John. The Falcons versus Heroic, game number 2. Heroic looking to tie up the series 1-1, and Falcons, of course, already one game ahead of this best-of-2 series. Falcons have been having a really nice time during these group stages thus far. Pretty sure they were 3-1 yesterday for day number 1, so Falcons certainly having a lovely start to the tournament. You can see if Heroic can kind of put a bit of a damper on that here in this game number 2, force another draw for Falcons. We'll have to see. I certainly agree that I think Heroic's draft this game around, at the very minimum, is much easier to execute, which I think is an important point to make. Like, it's not like a Husker draft where it falls off and then everything just falls apart. You know, this is a bit more, I want to say, sustainable.
That it is. It's still very reliant on tempo, somewhat. Like, you don't want to give away early tempo for this kind of draft. You kind of need to at least draw even in lanes. That's the bare minimum you'll accept to kind of get that start you'd want here. And if you don't find that, again, stalled out Blink timings is going to hurt. Stalled out Ag's timing on Analog plus Blink is going to hurt. Deso, Dragonlance, a Blink for Yuma. You need all of these to come in at a pretty good point to coalesce together to kind of hit that spike. Otherwise, you're going to have 3 heroes hitting the jungle. And again, that's just not what you want to see. Maybe the most important out of all of this is Analog. Like, this Beastmaster mid feels like this is one foundation that can kind of set things up. Like, you can always play with Roar. You can kind of tie that in. You can follow through with, say, a Bushwhack. You can follow through with Ice Pat nicely, and you can get the damage flowing through that mid lane. So we're going to have to see some results for Analog. So taking a gander bot first. You've got Amar on his Mars going up against Yuma with a little bit of poke from KJ on the side. Maybe a little bit slower for crit, ensuring that the blocks are there. Getting the D-ward off as well. So making sure that no pulls can come out and just help that lane be more sustainable for Amar. This is pretty nice for Yuma overall. Like, again, you can kind of play into a melee matchup pretty well as a TA. It will take like maybe level 2, level 3 to have some real big threat onto Amar. But beyond that, at least you're not worried about refraction melting all too quick in that lane.
Oh, Crit's actually going to be forced to drag the creep wave past the tier 1 tower. Not exactly what he would have liked, but, you know, it's KJ's being very annoying on that Jakiro, just not leaving Crit alone, so he did lose at least a range creep to the tier 1, which is not very nice. Won't matter too much though, obviously a pretty hard start in this lane, but they'll get there eventually. Mid lane looks like Quinn and Analog still going at it as well. Quinn, I thought he was going to go for a toss back play there for a second, but at level 2 doesn't have it. Went for the tree grab and the avalanche, of course. Seems like Analog's having a much better time already though, I might say.
Yeah, again, this matchup is a lot better for Analog to play as well. Just having the axes, having this constant poke damage onto Quinn, having this way of just getting some cheap poke back with no real threat from Quinn. Like, he goes for level 2 avalanche now, helps him clear out the waves, helps him clear out the summons. The boars are just making it annoying for Quinn to kind of weave in and out of
Skill back top
creeps.
lane. Skidder did get skilled back very nicely. Problem is snaking with this damn tornado going. Again, you just can't underestimate how much damage this crap does. And so they skewer back in, but they just can't keep going. Like, Matthew almost dies to the damn tornado, in fact. In fact, he lost himself to it. Oh, Matthew, no.
Yeah.
It's just, the range on it's so stupid. It just does so much range with you know, quite a bit of damage. It's really annoying.
And it is. And they're just making sure that you've got all the room out for Skitter. This matchup for Whisper isn't the most straightforward. You do have some magical damage that is coming in. And there's some good poke. Matthew's just constantly zoned out. And it's funny, Snaking isn't even summoning his convert back up. You know, he's got the Satyr converts, he's got the mana burn to play with. He doesn't even need it. He can just stay with his Wild Wing and just constantly zone in. They're all going to get some decent pressure under the tower. Just skewer back is not the direction Whisper would want it.
No, in fact, it might have just killed him. Whisper, he's going to be okay thanks to a nice bushwhack up from Matthew. But certainly not the skewer he was really going for. Well, luckily for Whisper and Matthew, that neither of them die, but Skidder is completely free farming here.
And that's going to be a concern. Again, just your magical damage for this Terrorblade is kind of down to Analog. Otherwise, with Skidder getting such a good start, having him get this ramp up into just faster levels, having more of that presence with Metamorphosis with a lower cooldown, more damage, it's just going to make it a lot tougher to match into the Terrorblade. Some early presence on mid, though.
A lot of slows on Quinn. He is just not even moving at this point, and Quinn eventually will go down. First blood to be drawn by Analog. And I'll tell you what, I mean, Analog, he was already having a brilliant start to this game too, but now with the first blood coming out for him, it's already such a significantly better start than his Husker game during game 1.
And it is. And again, I like the emphasis out from the side of Hero. They understand this Beastmaster has to be online. Like, you have to have the strong start on this mid-hero. It has to get its tempo going. It has to have, like, again, a fast Ags. You have to have this launching point to play with, because the Beastmaster is the most ready to play early on. Like, it is the hero that you need to connect to. And they are guaranteeing that start for Analog early on, at the very least. The freeing up the side lanes isn't the biggest deal, right? Like, Yuma is at level 4, so he does have the poke back onto Amar. It's pretty painful for Amar to try to come in with a God's Rebuke. The damage is there on the TA left solo, so it's a workable lane so far for TA. KJ has sacrificed his levels for it, but again, the damage is there with Yuma at least.
It certainly is. Bottom lane, a bit of a chase onto ATF, but he's okay. It's a nice little spear back onto Yuma. Yuma obviously having a great old time on the TA as well. No real contest here down to this bottom lane. So both safe laners having a great old time. So KJ's going to try and harass Crit out again down to that bottom lane, but Crit's going to be okay to walk out. Meanwhile, you are starting to see that 6-minute timer come, so naturally Matthew will rotate into the mid lane. Seems like we will send some snaking Chen creeps in to try and help out with these power rune spawns. Analog's going to go for a fight down bottom as well. KJ's going to be there to back him up in case it does spawn, but it spawns top. So snaking, he does at least deny off the amp damage, but they do ensure that Quinn does not get any runes here up in this mid lane. In fact, Quinn... Well, he thought about chasing Matthew there for a second, but Matthew does back his way out nice.
It's this emphasis on mid that is going to keep Heroic in an even footing. The side lanes are going pretty fine, but the fact that mid lane is slower for Quinn, stalling out the blink just a bit more, giving Analog the room to just hold the lane steady, play with axes, get some constant poke, ensuring that there's always a little bit of a threat onto a shove with his own little creep army if you just leave him alone for too long. It does mean that, again, you cut down on the connections Falcons will want to try to make. Although, they are starting to hit some spikes. Amar's almost at level 6. That threat of Arena does open up some big possibilities here for Falcons if they want to try a gate play down the line. And he does have that level up. So there can be some action springing out from that one. A good scan does spot Quinn with his walk into the triangle. He will scout out the stacks. Got to be able to clear that out before Analog can clear. And they need to defend this on Heroic. They've got the game sense to just run up, maybe start clearing out. They have Roar ready here.
They do, but Analog's the one trying to retreat. Quinn will do the same now. Matthew is still hanging about. Quinn does get bushwhacked and KJ's here. Oh, it could be in big trouble. Nice toss back though from Quinn. Snaking, trying to stick around and ensure that his Tiny does not die. And Analog, he actually never got the Roar off. It's a bit of hesitation. I'm not sure if they would have even had the damage anyway. And in fact, Quinn's running back in now. He's got more numbers with him. Skitter's going to join in even.
Oh.
Matthew's in trouble. Matthew's probably just dead. It's a bit unfortunate as they are even going to find KJ. The calling dropped. KJ's still running though. He's alive for now, but Quinn does have a tree grab in one. Won't bother trying to throw it though. They've got the stacks in the triangle. It seems as though they're more than happy just taking those. And that they'll get away with. There's no defense to come for this triangle. Well, they're coming now, but it seems a little bit too late for the party. They'll try to chase down Skitter. Roar again is still available here for the TB, but there's just too many numbers as Quinn's going to move in with a big avalanche, almost taking down Whisper. And they find nothing. The defense is there, but the stacks were already taken.
Stacks taken, freebie for Skitter to find as well. I appreciate Analog trying to be smart with that Roar play. It just doesn't feel good when you're really not able to find an angle like that. Again, you just need some initial farm to go. And it is going to be the Ags rush for Analog. You have given a lot of free room out for Amar to, again, just play his own game as well. In fact, he knows he's farming, so he doesn't even level up the arena just yet. Still has a skill point ready for it, though. And they're setting their sights up top. They're making this a troublesome game for Whisper. Quinn is spotted by the creeps. Maybe they can keep a chase out in Whisper, but even just taking the tier 1 at this point is going to cut off a lot of the map for Heroic. Again, the triangle becomes a little bit more susceptible to those rotations in. And you just need time. It's down to just these tricores that you worked out here on Heroic. They need blinks, they need Ags, they need Gesso, Dragonlance up, and none of the cores have any of their initial items ready to play, whereas for Falcons, they can just run in. They've got good damage already out on Skitter with the Terrorblade, just by virtue of Metamorphosis. They're giving the free space out for Amar to get a fast blink. Quinn is taking the activity for his team. Maybe he gets lucky for a power room this time around. No.
He does not. Analog's going to get a nice arcane rune for himself. Still a bit of a chase onto KJ, but they do kind of give up. The Jakira just walks out of there. So Analog at the very least does get a nice arcane rune for himself. We haven't really seen any usage of the Roar yet from Analog. He's just been continuing to try and farm up towards that Aghanim Scepter, so not really interested in trying to go for any kills. Oh, as I say that, they are going to smoke up. So Analog and KJ will head down towards bottom where they could find ATF. ATF, no idea that they're coming.
Doesn't have
We'll run into them. Trap will be... Yeah, he doesn't have Arena either. That is true, John. Doesn't bother skilling it up, so... I mean, it wouldn't have saved him anyway, but... Yeah, he doesn't have it. ATF goes down.
Yeah. Going pretty greedy, just trying to play the farm game. I guess recognizing that Falcons will probably not want to connect onto him, just play off the back of Quinn as much as possible. Room for a siege here from the side of Heroic. Again, a little bit more map space being seeded out by Falcons. And this is starting to get mildly concerning. Your timings are lining up in Heroic. We mentioned that, you know, they have to have this improved 15-minute timing. And even losing mid-tier 1 and top tier 1, they are getting that pacing into the Ags. They're getting that pacing into Whisper's Blink. 700 gold away from the Blink. 2 parts away for the Ags on Analog. Although, the side of Falcons are starting to rotate onto that bot jungle, but they don't have their own jump ready. Again, Quinn, he's been super active, hasn't been able to AFK farm Blink up. Amar is still 700 gold away from his. It's just a little bit hard to catch out here.
That it is. Looks like Yuma does TP out of that bottom lane, so not going to be around to get ganked here as he instead moves into that triangle. So Falcons looking to start pushing that bottom lane. Analog, he does get another nice power rune, this time an illusion for himself, once again denying it away from Quinn. So I think this is the much more important aspect of taking those power runes, is just ensuring this Tiny is not getting those bottle refills from those power runes. There's now ATF in the middle of nowhere. He's going to get caught out and does get taken down. And he does buy the space for Snaking to finish the tier 1 bottom tower, but yeah, he was quite literally in the middle of nowhere.
And he was. Just trying to maybe steal some farm away, take some camps for himself, get that Blink Dagger going. Speaking of Blinks, it is already up in Whisper. So again, just a little bit of a better time, or at least better tempo into that build-up here for Whisper, bypassing the intermediary stat items. No bracers on him in comparison to Amar, which is why that network divide is still leading to that faster blink for Magnus. I will say, I do appreciate how Chen is nowadays, just because, again, you got the Croaker, you got the Tendrils of the Deep. Later on, you'll get the upgraded with the AoE version of the Tendrils instead. Always fun to see like a mini Ravage in the game. So there's a little bit of enjoyment here for Snaking, if you can start to find even more Croakers down the line. Smoke out from Heroic with that blink timing. This is when they can get things going. And this is when Falcons have to be a little bit concerned. They played a little bit slower. They maintain a 2k lead with how well they're working the map. But you have some play on Heroic. It's not like game 1 where they didn't have many options for them. With that blink, they can be the aggressors. The issue is, with their tier 1s gone, crossing the map is a slower process, and they don't have forward vision on the side of Heroic. So even with popping your smoke, they spent 3/4 of the time just standing by triangle, which is not ideal if you were trying to make a play here.
Certainly not, Jonathan. Certainly not. And the smoke amounts to nothing either. They just get a Shrine of Wisdom for themselves. You are getting a lot of farm on Yuma and Analog, but Skidder has taken over. Like he's sitting at 7.5k net worth now on the TB. So the Terrorblade's still having a great old time here in this game number 2. Everybody just slowly farming up. We've only hit 4 kills this whole time.
Standing.
It's
You know what they say, Mikey?
What's that, John?
You know, yeah. Some people in chat would always ask that. There's good letters, Mike. F and then a 10 and a K.
Yeah, well, they're probably not going to be happy right now, John. Not happy right now.
Ah. It just, yeah,
Here we go.
It is what it is.
Maybe Falcons will change that, John. They've smoked up. Heroic will also smoke up, so both teams running directly towards each other, basically. It's a big 5-on-5 engagement ready to go. The farming has finally stopped. A lot of blinks up. ATF's got one. You've got one on Whisper. Here we go. Who sees who first? ATF not having his smoke broken yet. There's your Ags now as well on Analog, just having it delivered right before this fight. So perfect timing for him. Wrap around through the river, back through the bottom lane. They will come through the north. Falcons looking to maybe take the high ground of the Twin Gate. Crit is going to spot him out eventually. Dangerous fight. Quinn's going to jump in. Arena is down. They've caught Analog. That's a great target. Get rid of that Beastmaster ASAP, and they've got him. So the Aghanim Scepter that was just brought up does absolutely nothing for this surprise reveal. And they've even got a TP cancel on Yuma now. Avalanche out from Quinn. It'll connect onto the the Jakiro, so KJ is set to fall. Now ATF jumping in, misses the spear on Yuma, but does find Matthew instead. And Yuma, he's still not out of the woods yet either. He'll blink out just barely, but the chase continues here from ATF. He's got blink up in 4 seconds. Yuma's going to go into the mill.
The high five!
That
the
might have actually killed him.
The high five!
Oh.
No! No! That's sick. Oh,
It happens, John. God. They just can't help themselves, can they, John? They just can't help these safe. Damn core players.
Yeah, it's your classic TA play. You blink away, you have refraction blink, you're like, oh, I'm happy. High five, and then you melt.
Here we go. We have a bit of a replay of that, Jonathan. I'm sure you're seeing a perfect start to the fight here. Killing off Analog. Again, the gold wasted on the Aghanim Scepter because it never even got used. And here we are. I mean, they just kept finding heroes, John. Like, Matthew takes the spear here for Yuma. And poor old Yuma was meant to get away, I felt like. He should have been okay. There's your high five up.
No.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Look,
and ATF says, oh, look at that. I high five somebody.
Oh my god.
And the immediate tip from ATF. Which you should tip, John, because he did you the favor of showing you exactly where he was.
Oh, goodness. Thank you, Valve, for keeping the high fives in. It comes into play. It comes into play. It's a tool. You use all the tools the game gives you, Mikey. And that's a big one. Surprisingly, that only gave us 3-5 on the scoreboard. And an 8k lead overall, so it felt like a lot of action. We're still below 10 kills on any side here. 8 kills overall over 18 minutes, but looks like Falcons will want to keep that. Oh, kick the gear, overdrive, Mikey. Smoke out. Again, Blink Arena ready to go on Amar. Just need some catch here onto a big target. And Heroic can't afford to really counterplay. Like, it's not like you can easily counterplay into the Bloodsport arena. You don't have the vision. You can't decide how to go in for an RP angle to defend and counter-initiate. You have to be the initiators on Heroic. You've got to go first.
Here we go. They're going in. Oh, they've got a spear out on the TA already. That's not the start you wanted as Heroic. Yuma getting deleted immediately, and that's just horrible news. Horrible, horrible news. Roshan is back on the menu. This is that point of the game where you start to really see the difference between these two teams. Like, Falcons just finding everything they could ask for, and Heroic, sadly, it's starting to feel like they're back in the back at the drawing board, John. Back at the how do we win this game kind of situation.
There they are. I think how Heroic wins this is through really good smokes. Again, they had the right idea last time around with the flank. It's just unfortunate their smoke broke while Illusion was just standing right next to them, giving this angle in for the calling, for the avalanche out from Quinn, and just ruining, again, counterfight. Heroic cannot counterfight. This is not something this lineup is meant to do. Right? Playing into arena, playing into the calling, counterfighting that is just next to impossible. So you have to take initiative. And if you don't, you're not going to have a good time trying to trade back with these ultimates. You have to try to work an angle in, set up some traps perhaps from Yuma to get some vision out, try to drop some wards if possible. Even if you just, at this point, roar up a support and get a freebie kill. We've seen that before. Last game, you were seeing some high net worth swings just from killing crit and snaking. You kind of have to just take what you can get at this point in the game and hope you'll get more opportunities to build up as the game goes along. Because 8k at 20 minutes, it's high. You know, it's very clear that Falcons are in control of the game, but it is still somewhat playable, although not like this.
No, not like this, John. Oh, that's a nice RP, though. That's a nice macro as well. Roar is in from Analog. ATF getting very low, does go down. That's a great start to the fight. Now Heroic really wanting to continue. Crit gets into the Pierce the Veil, but he's still in huge trouble. He'll try for a TP play out, but is not going to make it. That's 2 down. For Falcons and Heroic, they're showing signs of life.
I didn't think they'd have enough follow-through damage, but Falcons were the ones not in position to back them up in that area of the map. So good punishment out from Heroic. And that's what we need. Just some punishment coming in. It's a little bit risky at this point, but you have to risk it, right? You have to take that chance. You have to bank on the fact that maybe Falcons are playing a little bit looser, or trying to work the map more, trying to get that farm going, and just kind of throw out these spells. You have to initiate. Again, it's a risk, but you cannot counterfight. They have to take initiative, and this time the initiative does pay off. 5-6, 6k lead still standing for Falcons, and because they didn't pop Arena, they're set to go themselves. They know there's no RP and Roar, so this could be dicey for Heroic if they do step out a little bit too far here.
It is already at that top lane, kind of hoping somebody does show up here from Heroic, but nobody's there. Heroic are completely avoiding that top lane for now. It's hanging to buy the mid tier 2 tower instead, so that should be a top tier 2 to go down for free. Doesn't really seem like Heroic want to try and defend, but rather just wait by the mid tier 2 and hope somebody shows in that mid lane. And well, ATF is about to show, so you could maybe hope for a Mars attempt. Pings are out from Matthew, but ATF will just kind of commit the God's Rebuke and leave immediately. Skewer, they have found a nice target. It is going to be Skidder, but he's got the Aegis up, so you're going to have to deal with him 2 times. Skidder, saved by the Spear of ATF. Analog, meanwhile, losing half his HP already. He's going to try and run away, but a nice arena down from ATF, just going to lock him in, and Analog is gone. Nice and easy.
Get the cleanup. At the very least, you don't lose Yuma. He does manage to blink out of the arena. And you do have RP back up. Cool.
Quinn has managed to get 4-staffed out of there. Still taking a lot of damage. And now a nice RP. Whisper, he's in with 2. Quinn slowly, surely going down. He's still alive. He will finally drop, but it's going to be at the cost of Yuma. You kill off Quinn, but it's cost you so much. It's still worth more gold and XP, of course, for Heroic, but they're also going to lose another tier 2 tower out of it. And keep in mind, the Aegis is still up for a minute 10.
Yeah, at the least, you're not too concerned, or it's less concerning with Metamorphosis being on cooldown with Aegis usage. It's only a few seconds, though. So there is going to be a secondary meta, even if you manage to find Skitter in this window. Big pickup now for Crit. Full Ags up on Muerta. And that Deadshot upgrade is kind of ridiculous. Like, the size, the AoE bonus to get, and the fear is just going to be causing issues for Heroic when they do jump in. If you don't manage to catch Muerta in the back, chances are a nice quick Deadshot will impact your initiation in a big way. It'll allow a window for spell usage, allow a window for repositioning here on the side of Falcons. And now you have to deal with BKB on Amar, who has been the main target being picked up. Although
this time. It's going to be KJ. He was trying to get away. ATF does have an arena if he wants, but he doesn't need it, of course. And Falcons just completely just suffocating Heroic off this map. There goes the Aegis, at least on Skidder, so you've got that going for you now as Heroic. So you don't have to worry about the secondary life on Skidder, but in fairness, John, they haven't killed him once yet this game, so you might just still be worrying about just killing him the first time. It's Falcons now down towards the bot lane. Looks like Quinn is having a look for Matthew, and he does find him with a tree throw. Toss in as well to keep up the vision, and there's your Deadshot, doing a crap ton of damage onto Matthews. He's still continuing to try and get away. Will run west, but eventually they will have him. There's no escape.
No escape. He is stalling for time, but it's not like you have a lot of room to push out anyway on the side of Heroic. And with no outer tower left, map control is really just not there at the moment for the side of Heroic. Everything's in for Falcons. They've got more stat padding out for Skitter with the ultimate orb coming in into the Scotty. You've got the Yasha with a Sanj already up for Quinn, so the stat res is going to come into play now as well. Massive when you're playing up against RP and Roar. And I'm not sure what you try here. They tried to jump.
They do. I mean, snaking's almost dead at least. In fact, they do get snaking. So that could dissuade Falcons from trying anything further, knowing that Chen is gone. And it seems like they are going to indeed retreat. This is what you're kind of stuck doing now as Heroic. You just stand on the high ground of the base, hope for some skill back plays onto some supports maybe, get a couple kills here and there, and just drag this game out as long as humanly possible to give yourself a good chance at making a comeback. Analog could get caught out here. ATF, he's found him. Spear is going to land perfectly here from the Mars. Analog, he's actually going to go for the BKB roar out onto the Mars, but ATF got his own BKB off in time, which means he is not going to take any damage from the drums of Slom. With that, Heroic, I mean, I guess you force a BKB out from either core, and that's about it.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit better coming out for for Falcons here. Again, just it does feel like that durability on Analog is going to be a bigger deal than it is for Amar. Amar just kind of needs to try to jump in with Arena. If you can get that done, you're fine. So you don't need a big window for the BKB for that one. You don't need to necessarily stay alive after the Arena gets dropped, as there is enough follow-through here now from the rest of Falcons, although...
Oh, nice skewer back play. ATF again getting caught on the Mars. ATF not going to be too happy with that death once again, and... Oh, Whisper, he's doing some fantastic work with these skewers.
That he is. I think, again, the side of Heroic know what they have to do. They have to just look for people who are overextending, look for the fact that Falcons is trying to be more efficient on the map, so they're playing a little bit greedier, they're playing a little bit more split apart at times. There is room to punish that. They will lose access to the Tormentor here, though. Tormy will go the way of Falcons, and Amar actually gets his free shard up, so stronger spear coming in. Multi-hero spear is going to be nice and easy to pull off. Key timings are still coming in for Falcons. Again, Amar is buying them that space. Scotty fully done on Skitter. More stats. Healing reduction is going to feel good. And just more slows as well to help keep that chase down going. Quinn already has his full Sanjin Yasha. Had an AC queued up a while ago, but is just opting for a BKB. Understanding that, for the most part, the one thing that'll kill them is some follow-through control. Like Ice Path with a Macro Pyre. You're going to be able to dodge that out now once the BKBs are formed up. Smoke out, Falcons. Gonna try to go hunting. Roshan is back up. Could go for the safe play first, but maybe want a pick off. Unfortunately, it's only KJ that's close by. Not really the most impactful kill.
Yeah. If they know he's there, they'll take it. But they do not. Thing is, though, Roshan, it is completely free at the moment. Like, Heroic are nowhere near the Roshan pit to try and contest. The Roshan rule will go out now, so they are well and truly aware that it is happening. But with the amount of vision that the side of Falcons have around this pit, it's going to be a little bit too challenging, I think, to even think about defending.
So they'll take KJ, 2 courier snipes at the very least.
Nice.
A little something. A little taste, but secondary life once again for Skitter is going to be massive. Roche banner as well to help some high ground if they so wish on the side of Falcons. You are utilizing the space as best as you can on Heroic. Right, like you've got your own 9-second BKB on Yuma. He's going to go for the shard into a Revenant's Brooch for some decent solutions to the high armor we're seeing here on Falcons. Some magical damage can kind of sort that out. Analog just trying to go for the full Shivas, already has the Veil of Discord. So if he can find this angle in for the Blink War with the drums before BKBs fly on, the magic damage is starting to pile up. And there are solutions here for Heroic. And again, when it comes to high ground defense, you do have Magnus on your side. You've got Jakira now with the full Ags for KJ. The farming he did in the top jungle certainly paying off now. So this Blink RP Ags upgrade Macro Pyre can hold high ground well.
Jump in. Skid has been skewered back. A very nice start for Whisper, but the follow-up was just not there. In fact, here they come. Macro been dropped a little bit early, I think, here. And the Falcons naturally will probably have to wait out the Macro Pyre because it is just going to burn through their creep wave. Jump in, though. Quinn is out with a nice toss back. Whisper gets an RP off, though, just in the nick of time. And Analog's there as well with the Drums of Slom going. They'll get Quinn down. They've even found the Aegis of the Terrorblade. It's a great start here for the side of Heroic. But can they continue? Can they deal with Skitter one more time? Skitter's got no metamorphosis. A nice dead shot from Crit, actually landing on 4 heroes. Skewer back on Crit. They'll at least find themselves some Muerta. It's a great defense from Heroic, and Falcons once again will have to leave the building.
And again, it's a tough nut to crack, this high ground from the side of Heroic. The threat of RP is just massive. They kind of clumped up for it as well. On the side of Falcons, you can see how much damage is flying in when you do manage to get the Drums of Salam just banging away there on your Beastmaster. Nothing to stop. BKB is just not quite turning on post RP. The window was big enough for Heroic to play with, so they are playing to their strengths. Again, it's best for Heroic when they are the initiators. Falcons has to be very smart with their own initiation. Quinn tried to angle for a toss, but just not the most meaningful one. Snaking can be a bit of a freebie.
Should be. I was gonna say as well, these highlights, if you that Aghanim Scepter dead shot is pretty ridiculous. Like, hold on a minute, the fight's broken out a lot bigger than it once was. Yuma, they lost Snaking, but Yuma's been caught out.
Ah.
More importantly,
Overstating
John,
well,
Snaking has a croaker.
Yeah. He's got the croaker, Tendrils of the Deep. And I want to see an entire army of that. Just stagger all these mini Ravages. It would be so funny. I swear, it's a funny little thing. And these fishy creeps, these river creeps. 11 to 11, tying up in terms of kills, but Heroic have to play in a very specific way. It's really down to just repositional plays. It's really down to getting these big RPs, so much pressure on Whisper, which he has been delivering on quite well. But it does simplify a bit. He does go for the refresh. Double RP, double BKB is massive. Side of Heroic, again, they still have a game to play. They've itemized perfectly. Like, again, this Ags on KJs, very impactful when you're playing with an RP. The Shiva's fully done on analog to actually relay all of that magical damage out. It's going to be feeling great if you can just get that roar target you'd want. For Falcons, it's been a little bit awkward because for them, they have no debuff immunity Pierce. When those BKBs come out, we saw Amar, he was being very patient with when he chose to drop the arena. He had to wait for BKBs to play down. And that's just going to be a consistent thing. Like, if Heroic are the initiators, it's a little bit tougher for Falcons to consider an angle in. You're also starting to lose impact from Quinn in terms of burst play. He will still have good right-click damage, especially as he works into the Ags shard. He already has the Echo Saber up. So there is some right-click output now on the Tiny, but going for burst is not as easy. There's some HP padding out in the supports. They're harder to knock down. They've got 4 stabs up. So they can just kind of try to get out of dodge quite quick. And it's a little bit tougher, right? Like, it's a little bit more conservative from Falcons, although with the full Butterfly out and Skitter, maybe some of that confidence starts to come back in. Metamorphosis is ready. They might just have to wait for next Roach respawn. See in about 3 minutes how long that'll be. Heroic for their part, going around with a smoke. Still don't have the best forward vision in the world. Again, even if you catch just a straggler, just snaking or crit, as long as you don't lose a coral, like you lost Yuma last time around for snaking, you're gonna be pretty damn happy. The issue is, again, Falcons are playing a lot more defensive, hanging on their side of the river where there's just no vision here from the side of Heroic to help with his hunt.
Even I felt that lag as well, ATF.
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah. There is a big smoke out from Heroic. 4-man smoke. Heading down south. Quinn is around where they're heading, but they're picking out ATF, who is underneath an observer ward of the Radiant right now. They're looking to get towards that Shrine of Wisdom. See if they can pick off the Mars once again and maybe go from there. ATF obviously still has no idea that they know he's in that position, though they are coming. RP is out. ATF, he actually got the BKB off in time. ATF now looking to go back in. Yuma actually in trouble. The slows down from the Skadi. The BKB's not doing enough. The roar up. Analog trying to turn this one back around. ATF, he'll finally go down, but how do you save Yuma? He's gone. Quinn looking for more. We'll move on to Analog. And Analog is going to die as Matthew also in danger. Did he know? Did ATF?
He has
how did they get this? Oh, he has.
I think I think he did use the gem active up there. It was just kind of baiting.
Oh.
It's like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm gonna go for this wisdom. Jump onto me. It was their
That's
only
very
source of
clever.
vision as well. Yeah, very, very clever. Amar was just in position. I mean, he was holding his shield up. He was baiting them in. He was just bulwarking the right direction as well.
Oh.
Like, and again, that is so forced from Heroic. The fact that they had to go for a more. They didn't have wards anywhere else. We were just talking about that before the pause. That they have a hard time crossing that river. Now you don't quite have a. At least you committed to refresh. So you're down to just one RP, one BKB usage out on Whisper. High ground's already being sieged away by Skitter, even without the metamorphosis. You will have to land this perfectly. Macropire is going to be up in a few seconds, so the combination is there. But the Rax has fallen, and there is some room to go for more. It is risky. Falcons are just going to play it safe. Again, in 40 seconds, we'll see how long Roshan will take. You're inching towards the BKB for Skitter. You've got the full sight of Vice up on Amar. So instant control. If you do not BKB as you jump in here on side of Heroic, the counterplay is there for Amar. And again, the map control is just in Falcon's favor. One Rax up. Control for Roshan being set up. With the outpost being taken. And for Heroic, it's all down to how well Whisper and Analog can try to connect. It's down to that roar. It's down to that RP. It's their winning plays.
It certainly is. I mean, they're still hanging about on that high ground. No Rax is taken. Or one Rax taken, of course, but 2 Rax is still up here for Heroic. 17k advantage for Falcons. Skitter is looking pretty uncontestable as well in that Terrorblade at the moment. It's just, even if you deal with everyone else, just him being able to stand there and hit away is not going to feel very nice. So Heroic, back to the drawing board, back to the farm game. Yuma still has plenty of scaling to go on this TA, but you start to question how well the hero can actually do against a hero like a TB. At the very least, again, Heroic is still successfully defending. It's just, you kind of wonder where the light at the end of the tunnel is here for Heroic. I mean, I guess it's more on Whisper.
Yeah, it's down to the difficulties of trying to force a fight away from high ground, which comes down to vision, right? You just don't have wards. You just don't have traps. The gem on Falcons is just going to eat all of those traps up. You just don't have an ability to see where Falcons are playing to go on that hunt outside. And since it's such a risk to step outside without that info, you have to play high ground. You have to play close to your objectives, although
he went for the creep wave clear at the top lane, but it's going to cost him his life. Maybe even an extra life as Matthew was trying to help out, but Quinn's on his tail now. Matthew, he's going to try and make it as hard as possible, even smoking up to really give him Oh, the dead shot landing, though. And I think that gave it away because the sound effect. Matthew?
Yeah.
He's still okay for now, but not for long. Quinn's going to see him. Matthew's trying to juke out to the tree line. It's not going to work. Very nice. 2 down now for the side of Heroic, and it feels like you can't really force those kind of pushes. It was very, very. It was past the river. Even if you're just spamming out axes, like it feels like Falcons can just get there too quick. And now off the back of those deaths, they've got another Roshan.
They do. Nice and quick for Skitter. Refresh shard on the deck as well. Amar with double Hex, double BKB, double Arena. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And it just kind of boils back to that same point. You cannot cross past your high ground that far away without info. You don't have info. And you see the punishment that comes out there for Heroic. Just trying to work the map a little bit more. The safety net's up for the side of Falcons. Mind you, again, just going high ground is a risk when there is double RP, which it is back up for Whisper. So you are just also waiting for opportunities here on Falcons. You're likely not to force too hard. Although the amp damage might make that an easier prospect to consider for Falcons' end. And they can just kind of sit back and keep building up. Amar's working onto his actual refresh. Quinn working onto what I believe was the Assault Cuirass a while ago. You do have the full MKB up on Yuma to deal with the butterfly on Skitter at least. So that is something. It's a little bit more consistent DPS out for your core-to-core matchup here. And it's just a matter of, again, the pressure on Whisper, the pressure on Analog. They have to get that combination going. They have to get the RPs, skewer backs. They have to tie that in with, say, the Ags macro pyre for consistent damage through these BKBs. All easier said than done, especially as the network advantage has widened to 28k now for Falcons at 41 minutes in. So, big props to Heroic. Last time around, it's a very quick game. This time around, they've almost doubled that game time. And they're making it challenging for Falcons, right? Like, Falcons are playing a lot more defensive. They're having to look for opportunities first. There are exploits that Heroic are finding in terms of just getting some pick-offs here. But they're also not able to take too much initiative. I think that's really the big downer. Yes, you're staying in the game. You're holding high ground. If you can't go outside high ground, and it just doesn't feel good. You know, you're not really able to try to push.
Block of cheese on crit.
Yeah.
Very nice. I didn't even notice.
It's not as crazy. It's not as crazy, right? It only lasts 5 minutes.
No.
You know, it's not as wild.
Quinn?
There you go. That's
going
a bit
down.
wild.
That's pretty wild. Quinn goes down. Here we are looking at a block of cheese. Top lane. Rack's being taken. Skewer back. They've got Skitter. Can they deal with him? You've got 2 lives on this TP. They're going to jump in with Analog as well. Skitter's still going. Gets a sun drop on his own illusion. Analog trying to fight back. Now the arena ATF locking him in. Skitter, he's not dying. Oh, Skitter, he's not going down. Not even the first time. Oh, ATF with a perfect arena. They couldn't do anything. Well, that's it, John. That's all she wrote, I think.
Yeah, look, I mean, you don't have the RP left. You don't have Roar. You don't have Refresh. Mega Creeps are in. And 40 seconds is a long time. They'll call it on Heroic. The side of Falcons do take a nice 2-0 for themselves here, Mikey, and, you know, in really good form. This time around, I will say, Heroic did show up, right? Like, they did make it a little bit more of a challenge. Their drafting was a little bit cleaner. They made the game a lot harder for Amor, as Amor was kind of bullied out a little bit on bot. He was